Hello, beautiful humans. My name is Sam, and this is today for the Not So Bad Days project. I'm going to be talking about editing my first video for this channel, which would be the previous video, where my task was very simple. It was to create a banner for my YouTube channel. And I do not identify as a visual artist. I scribble. So that feels like something I'm not good at. And on top of that, video editing, anything technology related, it just triggers my nervous system like nothing else. It makes me feel on edge, stressed, tense, like I'm out of control, and like I'm completely oblivious and stupid because I don't understand how these things work. And of course, avoiding them is just going to make that worse because I'm not actually making progress of learning how to interact with them. So even though more than anything right now I want to just call it quits and end this project as is, because I encountered a couple of difficulties with figuring out how to get all of my files onto the same place to edit a video, I'm not doing that. And instead, I am stumbling through it. And I think that that is the beauty of this project, because I'm giving myself permission to stumble and make mistakes and feel like a failure. If this were a project about something that I really cared about, not that I don't care about this, but like if I was trying to create a channel that was about my favorite book series and I wanted to debrief all of my thoughts about it, I would be so caught up in doing it right and trying to honor the book that I would give in to every single excuse and reason to delay the project, because I don't know enough about video editing, because I haven't sharpened my voice enough as a artist or critic or whatever, because the editing job makes it look really scrappy, and I'm like, that's disrespectful to the art that I'm trying to honor, to do it so haphazardly, to put in less than 100% of effort, which I don't know, I guess now that I'm saying that out loud, I guess effort is equated with success in my brain. The idea that if you weren't succeeding, it's just because you weren't trying hard enough. Even though I've been trying to edit this video for hours, and I've been really, truly putting my best effort in, and it's not going great. The effort is there, the success is not following. But per the nature of this project, that's just another reason to keep going. Even though I would really rather be doom scrolling right now and just numbing myself out of this experience, I am choosing to stay in the frustration and the discomfort and keep going. So I made plenty of mistakes. First of all, to make the banner, I was using Microsoft Paint on my computer, and I needed to figure out how to screen record. That took me a good 10 minutes, figuring out how to use the snipping tool to turn it into a screen recording thing. The first time that I tried, I recorded just a little rectangle of the screen and not the whole thing, so I had to go back and do it again. And then when I was on the Paint app, I had to figure out, it was really, I didn't do anything crazy. All I did was a solid color background and words on top. But it took me 15 minutes to do it because I was getting stuck on all of the details, and technologically I just don't really interact with this app very often, so I don't know what I'm doing. It took me a solid 60 seconds, maybe 90 seconds, to even just figure out how to rotate the background from like vertical to horizontal, and then picking colors is also something that was challenging for me, because I don't feel very, you know how some people are really good at understanding color theory and what colors go together and what colors don't go together. That's not me. I don't really feel like I understand how colors mesh together. I can kind of tell if something looks bad, but it's really hard for me to come up with a color scheme that would look good. In fact, one time in high school, I asked my friend to pick out colors for my nails because I was going to do my nails, and she sent me a color scheme and I did it, and she laughed at me because she said I looked up online the ugliest color scheme, and she sent that to me. Not the nicest thing to do, but my point is that I looked at those colors and I went, oh yeah, that's great, that's fine. So that was a challenge in and of itself. And then the real point of frustration was after recording the background, or the screen recording of me doing the art, and recording me narrating it for different parts of the process. Then I had to deal with the nightmare of organizing files and getting my files all onto the same device, because the screen recording was on my computer and the videos of me talking were on my phone, and so I needed to figure out how to put them in the same place. I tried to connect my phone to my computer with like a cord and get videos from my phone that way, and it seemed like the only way to do that was to essentially download the entirety of my photo album from my phone, which has photos from mid-high school. So then it was going through and recording or showing me the videos. It was, you know, different snippets as it was going through this entire discography, and it was showing random clips and videos from high school that I hadn't thought about in ages. I got a nice photo of me and a boyfriend from 2020 that I have not thought about in years, and other various memories that I don't know that I was completely emotionally prepared for to get thrown in my face very rapidly. And then ultimately it was so messy and convoluted that I couldn't find the 2 videos that I needed anyways, so that didn't even work. After I did that, I figured out how to use OneDrive to get my photos on my phone onto the OneDrive, and then use OneDrive on my computer to get those files from the OneDrive to my desktop into the video editor so I could edit the video cohesively all together. And now that I'm saying all of this out loud, I'm realizing that this project, even though it seems really simple, it's just recording my process of doing a banner, making a drawing for my channel. It's actually full of a lot of things that make me uncomfortable. Doing art, drawing, using technology. It's a lot. So I am feeling really overwhelmed, but in verbalizing it, it makes a lot of sense why I'm feeling overwhelmed, because it's not just one thing that's out of my comfort zone. It's a lot of things, and a lot of things that I'm prone to make a lot of mistakes at, to do inefficiently, and make me feel really silly and inadequate. Which is just the truth of how I feel. You know, logically, the whole reason why I'm doing this is because I know that making a couple mistakes, really inefficiently editing a video, is not a decider of my self-worth, and it's okay to feel frustrated and disappointed, and those feelings don't have to be scary. Even though they are, I honestly would love to be doom scrolling right now and just numbing out of this physical reaction that I'm having. But I'm choosing to stay here and document it and talk myself through it. So that was my journey of editing my first video. It's still not even done because, oh, that's the other thing. Every single step of this process took so long because before I would realize that a step wasn't going to work out and I was chasing a dead end, it would take 30, 40 minutes for those files to try to download or to exhaust that route. So I've been trying to do this project that I thought was going to be very simple and straightforward for over like 2-3 hours now. I don't even want to look on it. I don't want to know exactly how much time I've been spending on this, but it feels like plenty. So yeah, for this one, I was gonna try to document more of the video editing process, but to be so honest, I'm so fed up with it that we're just gonna keep it at this simple one video, full ramble explanation of what that process was like for me. And as we keep going, I'll keep challenging myself, but also something about this process is giving myself grace and letting myself take baby steps and letting those baby steps be tiny baby steps. I don't need to go from 0 to 100 overnight. Just putting my face out and my voice and speaking out onto the internet, that's scary enough. So we're gonna let that be enough and keep going from here. But to those of you who have cared to listen to this ramble, I really, really appreciate you, and I can't even begin to... It still feels surreal, and it'll probably keep feeling surreal. Like, the very first comment on my first video blew my mind. I was like, somebody saw this and somebody cared? That's crazy, but I thank you for caring. Okay, well, I hope... Well, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Goodbye.